Alright y'all, today we're going to show y'all how we make pickled peppers, and we're going to bite right into it like a flea on an old bloodhound.
Hey y'all, welcome back. In this video I'm going to show you my new and improved recipe for pickled peppers. Now this specific variety is Greek pepperoncinis. This is the staple ingredient for a Mississippi pot roast. You can't have that pot roast unless you have these type of peppers, and we grow a whole row almost every year because we have that stuff almost twice a month, sometimes three. Most of you guys are wondering what this revised recipe tastes like. This is a lot like the peppers that you find inside the pizza box from your pizzeria. It tastes a lot like that. Let's roll with it. Now the first thing we're going to do is grab our stock pot and get it heated up while we collect 12 cups of vinegar. Along with that vinegar, we're also going to get 6 cups of water. Now for those of you that are wondering, you can see we're using white or White House vinegar, but we run out, and you absolutely can use apple cider vinegar in this recipe. Works out just as good. So we have 6 cups of white vinegar and 6 cups of apple cider vinegar in our stock pot. Don't forget, we also have 6 cups of water. Now our next ingredient is going to be 3 whole tablespoons of pickling salt. We use Morton's, but you can use any brand you want, and you want to make sure that you get this stuff stirred in and mixed really good. And now the next step is we're just going to bring all this to a boil. Now, once we get our solution up to a boil, the next thing we're going to do is, like I said, we're going to make sure we get everything mixed in. When you stir, you want to make sure you don't feel any of that salt collected on the bottom. And then we're going to let this stuff boil for about 10 or 15 minutes. Now, while our pickling solution rolls on with the boil, I'm going to show you how we set up our peppers. Now, these peppers are washed and cleaned, and normally we leave the stems on. Helps you get them out of the jar easier. This time, I just snipped them off. Either or, it's your choice. We're going to take our peppers, lay them on the side, and we're going to slit them down each side. That's it. That's all we're going to do. Each pepper has to be cut on each side, and then we're going to stick them in the jars. Now, you want to make sure you get them in the jars as tight as you can without cracking the peppers. Next thing we're going to do is add 1 whole clove of garlic to each one of these jars. Then we're going to add 1/2 teaspoon of peppercorn also to each one of these jars. Now, you can use pepper flakes or crushed pepper, but after you do it once, you probably won't do it again. It makes it a little cloudy. After we get our peppercorn dropped in, we're going to give each jar 1 whole bay leaf. Try not to break or crumble it up also, but make sure each jar has 1 whole bay leaf. By now, we have already reduced the heat on our solution to warm, and now we're just going to go ahead and fill up our jars with our pickling solution. Remember guys, this is not absolutely boiling. You will bust your jars, but we're going to go ahead and fill up each jar to the rim, not leaving a 1-inch headspace, because our next step is using the old butter knife trick. Now this is the reason why we slit those peppers down the side. We want to get all of the air out of those peppers and get our pickling rind inside. So if we want to brown inside, we're going to have to take a butter knife and squeeze those peppers really, really hard and get all the air out. And once you don't see any more bubbles coming to the top of your jar, it'll be perfectly fine to go ahead and add more solution to your jar. Now this is where you can add your pickling crisp to the jar, and we absolutely do. We just so happen to be out, and when we're out, we're usually grabbing old grape leaf off the Concord vine and throwing here. Just use whatever trick you like to keep your peppers and pickles from going soggy, and that's usually about 1/8 teaspoon of pickling crisp or 1 big old grape leaf to each jar. Your choice, they both work just fine. Now that's it for this recipe, y'all. All we're going to do next is slap the lids on these jars. You need to check your elevation per time, but we're going to water bath these guys about 15 minutes.
Alright y'all, we sure appreciate you watching this video. Y'all keep on keeping on, and we'll do our best to see you on the next one.
In the Carolinas, over by the Amish farms, just head on down to Andy's place and learn how to chicken charm. They'll teach you how to homestead, baby, here, and you don't have to have a farm.